Niggas want the recipe, I said it's all grind. Had to go through in the rain to watch the day shine. This testimony taking faith, my glory go to God. Said I'ma keep this pace, I ain't racing this marathon. Package up in my carry-on, smooth, super shy vibe. Sit back and play it cool while we vibe out. Sit and taste this food, have a drinking good time. Well, we all living fast, but we gon' die fly. We gon' die fly. Do say my cup on this one. Chef. It's my liqueur. It's my liqueur. It's my liqueur.
What's going on, everybody? Man, so this episode 17. Man, hey, I can't believe we are on 17 episodes. I believe that's absolutely wild. I've always wanted a YouTube channel. I got a YouTube channel, and now I'm trying to actually utilize my YouTube channel. Episode 17, that's absolutely crazy. But this episode, I have started working for the NBA player. His name is Mitch Robinson. He plays for the New York Knicks. So pretty much I'm just cooking for him and his family, his mom, his sister, and whoever, guests may come over for the day or whatever. I had to talk to his team nutritionist. So the New York Knicks team nutritionist wanted to talk to me about just what the diet is. And pretty much, it's just a whole food diet. He's a young guy who's very active. So, and I'm tearing my ass up. But he's an active guy. So, he doesn't have to be on such a crazy strict diet or anything like that. So it's pretty much for just getting some really just whole foods. It didn't have to be absolutely clean. So sometimes I used some dairy or some butter for flavors, but that's pretty much all that I did. As far as bad foods, his mom did question certain desserts some nights, saying she was trying to try my gangster, but I had to show her who the real G is around here in this kitchen, you know what I mean? But, so it was a really good situation. It was only set up for 2 months while he was home, in New Orleans. And I only actually worked about a month of it. He let me go midway through. That's one of the bad things about working with players and things like that, because they are very much known for going through a lot of personal chefs, trainers, and things like that. And sometimes it's for reasons unknown. It's just they just want to change, and so I went through that situation, and that's one of the good and bad things that has been about working in the private side of being a personal chef, because I really haven't found a great situation. This is probably my second or third time, I believe, actually being someone's private chef in home every day. And they've all been for athletes, and it hasn't really been a great situation. I haven't really felt at home. The only thing is you're tied to them, and you're tied to them. They are the business. That person who's the athlete is the business. And so if they're up, they're down, you're a part of that. And because I signed an NDA, this one guy actually went and did a tasting with his family, who's he's a player for the Pelicans, and very well known player for the Pelicans. And I just didn't really, it wasn't a vibe for me. And so I didn't take the job, and actually took another job with Giannis Valanciunas, and I was his chef right before the season started to get him going. And it just, you have to be in the right situation for yourself. And I tell everyone that before they start working with clients, is that during that tasting, you also have to make sure you're a great fit, because you have to be around that family all the time that you're there, and you're there usually if you're doing 3 meals a day. I mean, you're there before they wake up, and sometimes you are there when they're going to bed, clean the kitchen up or, doing prepping or something, getting something together, and being a private chef is a very hard job. You have to be very well organized. You are pretty much running a restaurant in a home kitchen. You have to make sure that you are know where everything is at every grocery store, every market, who has what, sourcing everything. Like it's a very hard job if you have someone who's very much about like clean eating and stuff like that, because you're always trying to resource and find the best ingredients that you can, right? You see me lathering with that salmon though. I know. But yeah, but it's a really, really hard job. And I really love the personal side, just going and doing dinners and brunches and vacation services and things like that. I really love doing that more. But, every opportunity is every opportunity. And, getting a chance to work with an NBA athlete, I mean, it's a great opportunity because if you do a great job, their family's going to talk about it. Everyone who comes through is going to talk about it. And that's only more marketing for you, because once you get in those circles, you're in those circles, right? Because they're always going to pass people around. Oh, because it's always, hey, do you know someone? Because I mean, I try to explain to people all the time that I feel marketing is very hard for me, because in the times that we are in now, most people market through social media, right? Because your demographics are your demographics. But when your demographics are six figures and above, and you really want the high net worth individuals, you really want the ultra high net worth individuals, like those people, they're not on social media. Now they may have like their handler or their, the personal assistant or, someone who's like their right hand. They may use social media to find you, but if they're usually a person who finds stuff for themselves, they're usually not going to social media. They may use social media as a reference, but it's not going to be the first way on how they find you. And I've been trying to work with several like different marketing people. And everyone is always like social media heavy, but I'm like, okay, what else? Right? Because when I worked in the casino and we would start going to the marketing meetings, and I always think back, it's like, man, I'm glad they start letting us come to these meetings, because now I have like a little basis of what marketing is, right? It's gaining someone's attention. How do you gain someone's attention? In these days you have to gain someone's attention within the first 10 seconds, hell, probably 5 seconds now, because everyone's always scrolling. And so, how are you going to gain someone's attention in times like these? But then, how do you gain someone's attention who is detached from social media, right? Like, are people still reading a newspaper? When's the last time you read a newspaper, right? Like, you literally went out, got a newspaper, and sat down and read it. I can't even tell you. I probably was child back in the 90s or something, like, I don't know. And I always have trouble with that, and I always ask people, it's like, so where do people with money hang out? Like, where they at? You know what I'm saying? At least where I know, okay, this is where you go. You know what I'm saying? Can I slide up in there one day? You know what I'm saying? Like what it look like in here? Can I go in here and introduce myself to people? Because like I said, when I say it's really a hard time getting in front of these people, it's a hard time, and again, once you break through to that ceiling, then people are going to start passing you around. And that's why I always say the best tip is a referral to me. One thing that I really do love about being on a private chef side is that I really just get to like play around in the kitchen. Like a lot of times, sometimes like I go in a grocery store like with an idea of like something I may want to do, and I kind of find those base ingredients, but then I build on from there. I love being able to go into a store and like kind of being able to cook out the store almost. Like let me go here and find a meal like based on your ingredients. So you give me a store that has, ample ingredients like, oh, we about to get real nasty up in here. You know what I'm saying? We about to, we about to do some stuff. And a lot of times, meals, some meals be very simplistic sounding. You'll have like oh, you got some chickies, some veggies, and like I like here I'm doing a corn machu, right? Um, I probably put a lot of effort to that corn machu. And we ain't talking, just getting some corn, out the can and some veggies. Like we chopped everything up. We corn off the husk, you know what I'm saying? Making the that cream sauce, making it with the actual cob of the corn, getting all the essence out. Like if I'm gonna serve you a meal, I'm gonna serve you a meal. Like I live for that reaction whenever you get like when you take a first bite. Like I live for that reaction. Like what are you feeling? You know? And I don't know if this sounds cocky or not, and it doesn't come off that way. It's something new that I'm learning to deal with is getting standing ovations, right? Like a lot of times after my dinners, I've gotten like standing ovations by the entire group, and it's weird and it's new because it's like, because, this is my art, this is my baby. You know what I'm saying? Like I gave this to you from my heart, my soul when I made you this meal. And for you to stand up and be like standing ovation, like, man, it was that good. Like that really warms my heart. And I miss that feeling sometimes. It's like, you really did something, for someone. And, just getting opportunities to really share my art with people. That's what I really love. And I get to get paid for it. I mean, I think that is probably the best part, right? Like getting paid to do something that you really love to do. And and this is why this journey, that's why I've called it this faith journey. Because I really don't know how I got here. And sometimes I really don't know how I am still standing. You know what I mean? Like I had to go look up the word faith. Like the word faith always has just been something in my life where it's like, what is faith? You know? Um, I've done a lot of things in my life. I've done a lot of jobs. I've had a lot of experiences in my life. And it's always funny that my girlfriend, she calls me a Renaissance man because all the different experiences I've had in my life. She says I live so many different lives. And I said, child, I think so. Like sometimes I really don't. It's like it's really weird. Like I sit back and think about the actual experiences I've had in life. But I actually looked up the word faith. And faith in the dictionary said complete trust in something, right? And I can see that. Do you completely trust something that you never have to worry about it? And when it come down to my life, like I'm very want to be in control of my life because I can control my life. I can control the variables in which things happen, you know. But having faith in just saying, okay, my objective today is to win the day. And me winning the day affects what's going to happen 10 years from now. In which in literal thinking, it actually does. What you do today affects everything for the next second, for the next hour, month, minute, you know? And Steve Harvey is one of my favorite motivational speakers, and he talks about faith. And listening to him is what really got me on this journey to really be okay with taking a leap to get here. I always remember January 3rd, 2020 is a day that I moved to New Orleans. I left my girlfriend's house at about 2, 3 a.m. I had to be down here for 7, and I must have cried the entire way. And I've had jobs where I've actually had to like leave my home, my hometown. Had a job where I actually traveled to the United States with this company, installing a hotel system and teaching the property and giving them support with that program. And I did that for almost a year. That was 100% travel. And I was gone for, months on end. But this was the first time knowing that I'm leaving, like, not coming back. Like, deuces, you know? Because it was time to go. I got tired of being a big fish in a little small pond, man. I had really gotten to the tipping point in my industry. Like, I got to the top of the top of positions of where they're gonna allow you to go. This is before diversity, inclusion, and stuff. This is where corporate world was still, what I'm saying, it's not a lot of black people in high positions in certain towns. And Shreveport being one of them. And but I remember my journey coming down that January 3rd, man. Like, that day sticks in my mind. But I remember crying the entire way down here and just telling God, like, man, it's me and you. You know what I'm saying? Say it's me, you, and my girlfriend, but the bottom line, it's me and you. Like it's us. We're here. And I remember Steve Harvey always talking about, you gotta have faith. You gotta have faith. In Hebrews 11:1 says, the assurance of things hoped for. And I think that's one of the best ways to describe faith. The assurance of things hoped for. And in Hebrews 11:6, without faith, it is impossible to please him. For he who comes to God must believe that he is, and that he is a reward of those who seek him. And I don't know, those words just mean a lot to me, you know. And I named this vlog the faith journey because I've only gotten here through faith. I One day I tell my girlfriend all the time, I say, one day I'm gonna figure this out. One day I'm gonna really figure out what this is, what actually is going on. Maybe one day I'll catch up to myself as I'm working. I've just been very blessed in all of my experience I've ever had in life, which has brought me here. From every job I've had, just being able to being so many years in the hotel business. Like, I know how to run a business. I know the basics of running a business. I know how things, operations, SOPs, putting in some standards, engagement, like, how to run a business. But now to be able to, like, you're in charge of doing all of that, just for yourself. And I tell everyone that always talks about entrepreneurship, I said, this is probably, next to raising a child, probably one of, like, self-awareness journeys that you will ever take, right? Because having a small business and being an entrepreneur, like, this is you, this is your livelihood. Like, how much effort you put in is literally a reflection of how much you get out, you know. And if you're not putting in the work, if you're not putting in the time, and this is one of the things I battle with, because I'm used to meetings. I'm used to your day is already kind of structured. You got to know what's going on at all times. Now it's just me. It's all on me. I have to go out there. I have to go out there and do the work, do the marketing, do the HR, do the find people to work, pay people to work, go get materials, like everything that has to be done in the business is on you. You know, and when you start hiring additional help, they can, but again, that comes at a cost, you know. And I wanted to call this vlog Faith Journey because, you know, you have to have faith to do things in life. You know, every person has believed in themselves and believed in that your life is going to be what it's going to be, you know, and everyone has a purpose of being here. You know, we are all here on life to find our purpose. What is our purpose supposed to be? And I think mine is really to help people. And I've always been very generous in my life. I grew up being taught that, you know, being very much in every organization that I've ever been involved in has always been, always had a community service aspect. And so it was implanted in me, you know, and I believe it's a great thing to do to always help people and always help the less fortunate and even not the less fortunate, just to help people, you know, just be a kind, good person, you know, out here. And, you know, and if you ever read any of like the self-help books or anything like that, generosity is always a part of it. And this is being a good, kind person, you know, and you get out, you get in what you give out. You know what I'm saying? If you out here being a shitty person, you're gonna get shitty life results. You know, plain as that. But this faith journey, like I said, I still don't know how I am where I am, gotten to do the things that I've gotten to do, the people I've gotten to meet, the people I've gotten to cook for. You know, it's been not been, it is a miraculous journey. I'm a big fan of The Alchemist, that book. I've become an audiobook person because I'm always traveling, moving around, doing something. So sometimes I don't want to listen to music or anything, and I put on an audiobook. So, you know, you get to learn and do things at the same time. But The Alchemist is all about the journey and everything that you're supposed to learn along the journey that helps you get to your treasure, you know. And life is what it is, you know, and all of our journeys interact and their paths intertwine at some time and at some point. You know, whoever listens to this and whoever gets what they're supposed to get from this, you know, they get it whenever they're supposed to get it. And at least I'm happy knowing that whoever gets something from one of my videos, some little form of inspiration, gets it. You know, it's so funny because I feel like I'm out here every day struggling, trying to make it, you know, just trying to like, okay, you know, what we got to do today, you know, sometimes it gets heavy because it's like, you know, the bills start piling up, you know, then things get good. And then you're scared when things get good because, all right, things been going good for a little too long. Like what's going to happen? You know, sometimes you can't even let yourself get fully engulfed in the moment to even celebrate yourself sometimes because you're always, you know, living in that survival mindset of, oh shit, what's going to come next, you know? But having faith is living within that, knowing that you're going to enjoy today because tomorrow you're still going to do your very best to make sure the next day you're going to do your very best. And then the next day you're going to do your very best, you know? You know, it's like that, the old athlete saying, you know, chop wood. You know, I have that, on my phone, I have that picture of where it's like the two guys clawing through the earth looking for diamonds, and the one guy's turned around, but the other guy is just going. But the one guy stopped like that sliver right before. Like if he would have swung the pick two times, like he would have been there, right? And it's like, what if tomorrow is the day? What if tomorrow's the day like you win? You know, like whatever moment you've been looking to pop off, tomorrow is that day. You know, like I thought every time I got a promotion or a new job, I'm like, shit, today's that day. But now looking back, it's like, those days seem so far ago, but I still remember that feeling like, oh yeah, today that day, you know? But what if you quit? What if you stop? What if you say you don't want to do this no more, And it's okay, if you have to have that if you have to have that decision, but you got to understand why you're making that decision. You know, this is for people who are trying to who want to take that leap. You want to take that leap to doing whatever it is that you want to do that you've maybe been scared to do. Man, I encourage it. I'm the wrong friend to talk to. Don't come to me if you need someone to talk you off a cliff in a bad way, in a good way of trying to leave a bad situation to better yourself. Do it. Go do it. Whatever makes the star player happy, do that. You know what I mean? Like, we're put on this earth to enjoy these moments. Why not enjoy it? I lived my life so long for other people, for their happiness, for, let me make you happy because, you paid for this. Let me make you happy because, I owe you a favor or something like that. And I missed out on so many things, but at the end of the day, I had to go through that stuff, so I had to change my thinking and understand, I'm grateful for that situation, that lesson that I learned, because now I'm here. And I'm not saying I'm a perfect person and this is a dream situation. I'm not saying that whatsoever. I'm a very imperfect man. I mess up all the time. I had to learn how to face my mistakes head on instead of just trying to run from things and place blame or anything like that. And just having being able to have tough conversations. I've always been a person where I've always been put down and made felt bad for being blunt. But it's like, a lot of times people want sugarcoating, but it's like, some things can't be said sugarcoating ways. Some things have to just be said, but I'm always have to be very cautious of that. And on the flip side, what I do is I don't have those conversations, which leads to other things, which could have been addressed a long time ago, just through a simple conversation. And so I've had to learn how to come through that a lot. And that just comes down to any conversations, business wise, personal wise, sometimes you just have to have, a understanding just to get things done. And it always makes me uneasy on how people are going to be receptive of, clear, straight talk. But again, I'm not a perfect man nor I claim to be, but I do know that if you take steps and do things in the name of taking leaps and taking faith and trying to better yourself, man, the journey is a rocky road, but it's enjoyable. And that's why I'm always a fan of telling people, you know, and I'm not afraid to tell people my story. I'm not afraid to tell people, give people examples or give anyone advice of anything that comes down to run a business or being an entrepreneur or just, you know what I'm saying? Like what are things that small businesses just have issue with at time? I don't mind helping anyone. I'm never going to withhold information from anyone just because I just don't believe in that. That's why I probably would never really do like those master courses. I get asked all the time, do you do business master courses or classes or anything like that? And it's like, no, like what you want to know, like, what you need, what you want to know. Like I'll give you, I'm going to give you the real, I'm going to give you what I've gone through and I wish someone told me, you know? And so that's how I always try and help people. I always trying to give back in some type of way. And, you know, you have to be a very generous person in life. But so I really hope that, you know, in upcoming videos or my past videos or any videos that, you know, someone can get something from, you know, either would be business, you know, maybe understanding what I did, as I'm going to start bringing, you know, some more of those type videos, or, you know, just something with cooking, some food or an adventure, or you learn something, you know, because I have a lot of some food adventures that I'm going to start doing, and going out here and actually learn, like, where does our food come from? How are we getting our food? You know, what is going on that's affecting our food too? Because, you know, those are things that's not really talked about. I'm trying to bring you that real or what goes on in food. You know, my life dream is to be able to golf, cook, eat my way around this world. I want to golf in different places. I want to cook in different places. I want to eat all across the world. I want to do some travels and adventures. And that is my ultimate dream. And that is why I'm having faith, because that was my vision. And, you know, I'm going to do my best to do that. You know, I'm already living the micro version of that now, but I know how great it can be, you know. So I hope that you all follow along with me. I hope this video didn't put you to sleep. I hope you subscribe. I hope you like. I hope you follow. Hope you follow all the socials. Everything is Chef St Erik. All the socials. Google me. You'll see what's going on out here in the world of what I've been doing. Man, that salmon look good, don't it, boy? Yeah, boy. Salmon look real good. I really have fun. Like I said, I really have fun whenever I cook for in-home clients. Like, I be in there, just be cooking. Just be cooking. And it sucks because sometimes I really need to write these recipes down, because people be like, hey, you need to bottle this sauce, or they'll be that, hey, man, that, I don't know what this is, but you can open up a restaurant on this meal alone, you know? And it's stuff like that where I really need to start writing down some recipes, because I really do forgetting this stuff. But see y'all on the next episode, man. Peace out. Your boy, Chef St Erik.
Hey. This one crazy. This one feel like hitting the buzzer beater or something. Championship game. Dream team. Feeling better than I ever been. Cairo in his bag, this beat is heaven sent. Back up in my element. New whip, trunk up in the front, I whip an elephant. It's all limo tint, that's how you move when you the president. You S and off stream.